Hello everybody, I'm Tracy Rainwater's animal communicator and intuitive channel, and today I am bringing you the top 5 messages that I frequently hear from horses in sessions. So for those of you who aren't familiar with my work, yes, I am an animal communicator, but I really feel like the word interspecies intuitive channel really encapsulates the work that I do. So I work specifically with animals and their humans to really build bridges of harmony to help us understand our animal companions and friends, but also to bring forward the healing soul wisdom of the animal species so that animals and humans can thrive together. Because really at the end of the day, I really feel like it's all about coming into our heart and really elevating and expanding our consciousness. And I feel like animals are amazing companions and guides in that journey. So my work for nearly 20 years has primarily been with horses. I've been an avid and a lifelong equestrian and horse lover. So there are common themes that I see in sessions with horses and their humans. And the top 5 messages I want to bring you today will hopefully bring some clarity and guidance and some soul nourishment in the pathway forward with your own animals. So message number 1 that the horses really want you guys to know is all about understanding how deeply woven horses are into the heart space. So one of my specialties is really looking at the energetics and the soul level of all beings, but particularly the animal kingdom. And horses, when we look at them more from their communal consciousness, like the collective consciousness of horses, they are very deeply connected to the angelic realms. And part of the collective soul mission of horses here on planet Earth at this time is to really help drop humans into our hearts. So it's all about seeing and experiencing all that exists in our life from the space of our heart. So we know the electromagnetic field off of a horse is significantly larger than a human's, and their deepest expression is love. So what horses often say is, even through difficult times and through difficult situations, even if a horse and a human aren't a forever match, or even if it's a really poor match, the ultimate template that they're working from is love. And it's really about helping us see ourselves clearly and to develop better relational skills. So if we could always meet them from the perspective, if everything that's being presented is run through the framework of love, what is it that I can learn here? And what is the higher wisdom of my animal soul? And what is the higher wisdom of my soul? Like, what was occurring that the two of us came together? Like, what is the soul lesson and what is the soul wisdom? So really, horses wanting you to know they are deeply backed in love, and they really are here offering a heart opening and a heart expansion and a completely new way for us to see and experience not only ourselves, but the greater world. Message number 2 is the body is not a machine. I primarily work with ridden horses or people who are competing at a relatively high level. And I think for so many of us, and there is like a lot of deeper social programming around how we view horses and their body. And on one hand, I could say we often view them as athletes and tend to put a lot of care, time, and focus on really keeping the physical form optimal. Now, that is important. So I'm not saying that that is a bad thing to do. But what the horses are constantly wanting people to know is horses are deeply sensitive, deeply energetic, and very deeply emotional beings. So if there is incongruency in an emotional state between the horse and the human, if there are really blocked emotions within the human, that can affect the energetics of the horse. It is not uncommon for horses to have lameness issues or pathologies that are actually stemming from energetic or emotional ways of being. So the invitation here is to not see their body as a machine. They have deep emotional needs that need to be met, and they've got this great need for community and connection. And a lack of that can really impact their physical form. And also treating them for the deep sentience, the deep consciousness, and the deep wisdom that they have. So not just seeing them as a tool, as a means to an end for a competitive goal, but to really see the entirety of their being. Message number 3 is around riding. And this is something that, I feel like it's so like in our consciousness in the horse community right now. It's really this idea of like, how do horses really feel about being ridden, and is it ethical to even be riding our animals in the first place? What I hear from horses more often than not is that being ridden can be an absolutely energetically exquisite experience for the animals. That when the intentions are in alignment between horse and human, there can be this beautiful energetic symphony, and really like the merging of two energies coming together for a common goal can be really lovely, not only for the humans, but for the horses as well. But it requires a high degree of empathy. It requires that the animals really be seen in equality. So not something that has to be submissive to us, but something that we're seeking harmony with. And really honoring and respecting what is being asked of the animals and treating them with dignity and respect, and not just seeing them as a tool to get us to where we want to be. So to me, it's all about the alignment of our heart, how we view our animals. So really seeing them as partners and friends, as well as athletic, like as well as an athlete and a teammate, and really honoring them from that space. Really honoring how they feel on any given day, and being able to step away from what we expect to do on any given day if it's not in alignment, with the horse. If they need, maybe they need a day of rest, or maybe they need to go for a trail ride instead of schooling in the arena. Like really meeting them as a true partner in every sense of the word can change everything. And I have seen horses that love training, they love competing when they are really honored and revered, and then when they feel supported within themselves and all of their emotional needs are met. So it's really this message of riding can be a wonderful thing for a horse if we really honor it and hold it in a way that is honoring of them as well. Message number 4 kind of tacks on to message number 3, where it isn't either or. So either a horse is a ridden horse or they're a non-ridden horse. And again, horses are asking us to kind of bridge the divide between horses are just like pasture companions and friends, and that it's unethical to do anything else with them, or this idea of that horses are machines and athletes, they need a job, and they have to perform, fulfill a role, do whatever it is that we expect of them or what we bought them for. So they're really asking us to bridge that divide and to really see them as beloved companions and friends where we can work together. So again, it's this idea of, it's not like all or nothing, but how do we find like a happy balance between the two? How do we find a happy rhythm, that works for both horse and rider? And to me, this requires incredible honesty, on the human's part, and really being clear on what you want and what you want out of a partner, so that you can help magnetize a horse who has a similar expression and is seeking the same types of things. I've worked with horses that love competing. They really enjoy like that intense focus with a human. I would say that's a small subset of horses. And then there are a lot of horses that just really love the connection and the companionship with their human, and are willing to meet a human in a competitive state because it is actually joyful and harmonious. And then there are some horses that just really don't enjoy high performance. They don't enjoy competing, but they love, going on trail rides, feeling deeply connected, helping people learn and grow. So to me, I always tell people, be very clear on what it is that you're wanting out of the relationship, so that you can help magnetize the horse that is going to help you along that path and will help you grow and expand. And the last message, and I would actually say this is the thing that I hear the most from all horses on the planet, is wanting their humans to be in joy when you come together. So often we can be so focused on, A, is my horse happy? Are they physically sound? Are they doing well? How is the training? Oh my God, I want to progress, or I want to move up to the next level, or I want to move up to the next height in jumping, whatever the goal, the focus is. can often get us in a mental state that takes us out of our heart. It takes us out of our feeling state, and we can just become very laser focused on whatever the goal is. And often horses say that is the thing that robs us of joy. So I'm not saying don't have a goal, and I'm not saying don't be focused, but to always remind yourself and come back to the space of how much you love your animal, what a privilege it is, to be with them, what an honor and a privilege it is for them to allow us to be on their backs, and what an honor and a privilege it is for the two of us to come together, and to always come back to that childlike joy in being with the horses and in riding the horses. And from that place, because that joy brings us into our heart, the horses often will do whatever they can to meet us in that place as well, and to be a beautiful partner for us. So what I really encourage people to do, if you find that whether it's from fear or just intensity, whatever is going on, if you feel like if you're having a hard time connecting in joy when it comes to riding, it's like, can you find little places to laugh, to bring laughter and some levity into the experience, and to come back to that childlike wonder of how it feels, to canter on a pony or to just be enjoying what you're doing. All right, guys, go out and hug your horses, and I hope this helps.